Good morning, this is totally random.
Featuring Franz Maruna and Andrew Embler.
Welcome to Totally Random. Today is the end of August.
Yeah, 31st.
Yeah, 31st of August. And this is your periodic news show about concrete5. I'm Franz, this is Andrew. We're here to answer your questions about concrete5, talk about the community news and other exciting tidbits.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So jumping right off into the news, a bunch of stuff has happened since we had the last Totally Random. Not the least of which is we released concrete5 6.
Yay.
Exciting version, yes. If you're an avid viewer of Totally Random, you already know what's in 5.6, and you are breathing a sigh of relief that we are on schedule with smiles on our faces and it's working perfectly.
Probably the most sort of scheduled and stuck to release that we've ever done.
Quite
in terms of
thorough.
beta period.
Yeah. If you're a new viewer, 5.6 is very exciting, rethinks the way we deal with advanced permissions, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So if you've ever thought concrete5 looks really easy to use, but I've got a really complicated problem for my enterprise level challenge, boy is 5.6 ready for you. In other news, very exciting this morning, article on Web Designer Depot by our own Chad Stratt, a very active community member here, has written a fantastic introduction to concrete5 article, getting a lot of the tweets, don't you know, and the likes, things like that. The posts, the social juju.
Yeah, a lot of people on that site.
Yeah, and nicely thought out, does a good job of explaining that, hey, in-context editing is great, but there's also some really cool stuff happening under the hood here, and this is a project you should check out. So thank you, Chad, for taking time to write it. Thank you, Web Designer Depot, for posting the great article, and share that with your friends. I'm sure they'll enjoy the read. There's more news. That's not it. Aha! Yes, we can proudly say that HP is using concrete5. We asked a few weeks ago if you're a large brand using concrete5, it sure would help us if you would admit to it. There's quite a few that we know do that don't. HP happily is eager, proud to say that they have built their open WebOS site with concrete5. They're enjoying the flexibility and using the forums in a way they can take threads out of the forum and turn them into pages, and generally very, very happy. So
plan on continuing to use it in the future.
Yeah, great relationship starting there. So thank you, Palm and HP. And if you needed a big name to convince your client that, hey, this is safe stuff, there you go. Hewlett Packard should do the job. It's a big name. Last bit of news for today is we have made a decision and acted on it for the translation and internationalizations. We are now at.
We solicited feedback.
Yeah.
And we
did. There was a thread. We've been using this site called MyGenko. Right?
Yes, MyDjango, or might pronounce that.
Django?
Yeah.
Basically what this is it's a site that manages the files that you need to generate to have a concrete5 work in a different language. And there's a bunch of volunteers that go ahead and translate concrete5 for us whenever we do a new version. And this is the tool that they would use to do that work.
Yes.
And there have been complaints that the tool we were using, the Genko, Django thing, was not awesome. And someone pointed out that this other site, TransFX, was awesome. And we said, well, that's great, but everyone thought that Genko was going to be awesome too, so maybe we should just have a little chat about it. And we kind of came up with some different options, and apparently there's a piece of software called Damned Lies that was a close second runner.
As close as something
Damned Lies can possibly be. Damned Lies is I guess it's open source. We'd have to run it.
We would, which you can do at TransFX as well. But one reason why we did take a look at this is because they do have the nice hosted service that you can get started with right.
We got things to worry about. So that's why we use GitHub instead of hosting Git ourselves. And if you've got software as a service and it makes sense to have software as a service, I'd much rather pay to have something actually work than pay my guys to figure out something we don't need to be experts at. Happily, TransFX is free to open source projects, so
Yeah, and the
Easy
initial
proceeding.
feedback from starting with it's been very, very overwhelmingly positive.
Positive indeed.
Yes.
So that's good stuff, and we hope and expect that the translation files will continue to mature at an even faster rate. How many languages do we have started at this point?
Oh gosh, we got rid of a few that hadn't had any work done in my Django, but I believe at this point it's over 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool. Well, I think that's the news.
Cool.
Good Lord, what's that? All right, well, let's check that out, whatever that was. It's time for some karma.
And the weekly karma winners, come on down.
The bunny or something. What do we got, Matt?
All right. It looks like we have Patrick Cassidy winning a copy of the Specifications Table Builder for helping.
Nice.
We've got Reverix winning a copy of the Reviews add-on for promotion.
Nice.
And Greg Joyce won a copy of the Domain Mapper.
Sweet.
for you.
Good choice, Greg Joyce.
Dude, that's ridiculous.
Got
So good worker. Nice. Well, thank you for all of the help that you guys have given us, whether it's promoting the project, doing work on the core, or helping other people in the forums. It's all very important, and we wouldn't be the fastest growing open source CMS without you. So thank you.
Thank you.
We have any pictures?
We sure do.
Okay, let's look at them.
This one's from Mountain Goat, and this is his concrete5 sticker on his mountain climbing helmet on the top of Mount Whitney.
That's impressive. Now, see, that's not just a sticker, because we don't sell a transparent sticker.
Yeah.
So he has gone through the pain of somehow, I don't know how he did it. Maybe he printed it from the Illustrator file, or
Vector logo. that
got
we
an
have on the
X-Acto
site.
blade out or something. It's pretty impressive. I like it.
He wanted us to know he did not take the easy route up. He climbed up the face of the rock.
Wow.
Rice. Well, I would assume
Mountain
with the
goat.
helmet. It's not a
Name
helmet.
mountain goat.
Yeah. Good work.
Good at it.
Good work. Thank you for not leaving a sticker on top of the mountain.
This one's from Patrick Cassidy. This is a sticker on his car.
Sweet.
Very cool. And this one's a sticker on a laptop from David of Adelaide.
Nice. I can only imagine that hand glowing away. Like it's grabbing an apple. Cool.
Take a bite.
Thank you. As I do every week, I will remind you that if you would like to be part of this elite experience of having your photos shown on our
Yeah.
wildly popular
What do you
video
have to
show,
do?
Well,
What must you do?
you're going to need a sticker.
You will.
And the way you can get a sticker, and I will pause to tell you, at absolutely no cost to you, is to go to our swag page and scroll down towards the bottom. At the bottom of this swag page, there's some cool stuff. You get yourself a bamboo USB key and whatnot.
Swag bag.
Oh yeah. However, if you just want 5 stickers for nothing in the mail, we'll do that. We will mail you stickers, and then we will take your address and burn it. And you will never get a Sears catalog from us, but you do have to actually give us your mailing address. So that would include, yes, as Matt's doing, your name, some type of number and the street upon which you live, some type of city, state, province, whatever, prefecture, I don't know, postal code. It's not an email. It's not just Joe. Can't send a sticker to Joe. I don't have your address on file. I don't have files. So put your whole mailing address in there. Julia will send you some stickers. You can put them on something. You take a picture of it. Come back to
get
the
on the
website.
show.
There's a form you get on the show. You're famous. And I get stickers, and everyone likes stickers. Or if you don't like it. So there you go. Thanks. What the hell is that?
It's that Greg Joyce's bad.
All right. Well, it seems like it might be time to check in with Greg Joyce and see what great choices have been made. Let's do the BRB.
Alright, let me load that sucker up.
Introducing Great Choice by Greg Joyce.
Alright, that's good.
Oh boy, Greg, what kind of choice are you about to make?
Well, I think I'm gonna solve a mystery.
What kind of mystery?
I don't know, I'm gonna find out who killed Blue Bunny.
Oh no!
Man.
Oh, Blue Bunny.
Yikes.
Well, good luck to you, sir. That looks like a horrific act.
Yeah, I'm
It's
working
so
on some leads.
foamy.
Good. Well, I'm sure you'll make a great choice
Oh.
in the end. Oh man, I'm glad my daughters can't see this. They would be crying. Well, what other great choices have you made in the last couple of weeks, Greg?
Well, I'm about to tell you.
All right.
open the email I sent to Matt
I
earlier.
feel like you hit some type of bullseye with
Yeah,
something.
this is a
Whoa!
Bullseye theme by Brian Lewis. It's a clean looking theme with your choice of backgrounds.
Cool. Nice.
Next up, we have the,
Secure Pay Gateway by Masuva.
and it's an Australian payment gateway.
Does
Excellent.
it take money directly?
No,
Just like a
I
picture.
just figured that'd be a more exciting screenshot.
Then a
Get all
payment
that-
gateway
Yeah.
form.
So you get all that.
I would agree with
money.
that.
Alright, next up we have
E-commerce analytics by 12345J or 5Jazz. And it counts
like how much stuff you've sold.
Cool.
on
Nice.
your site. Next step is the quick parameter view by John the Fish, and this lets you add a block to your page, and it will show you all of your get, post, session, cookie, and request variables if you're a logged-in user, so you don't have to use that terrible developer tab in Chrome if you don't want to.
Gotcha.
The next step is another one from John the Fish, and this is called config info, and it lets you view your htaccess, site.php, or sitepaths.php from your dashboard.
Step by step, he's turning the editing experience into an IDE. Week by week.
And we got one more theme left, and this is the Radius theme by Formago. And it's got some tab navigation, and it is responsive.
Nice.
Stuff.
All right, all
I
right.
like that.
Great choices as always, Greg Joyce.
Well done.
Well done indeed. I think we've reached the point of the show where we tell you how we would do that.
How would we do that?
All right. Are there any questions? Things you'd like us to tell you how to do? Or should we just start talking about ourselves?
Let's check out the chat.
Let's check out the chat.
Chickadee, check it out.
Shibidoo. Something about pants.
How would we put on pants?
Same way we all do. One leg at a time. Well, yeah. it's
Looks
just
like there's
chit-chat.
not a lot of questions in here, just chat in the chat. Well,
All right.
actually, you know what?
What?
Okay, I think
Okay.
we got one, maybe.
Okay.
R. Barkus says he's having a problem with checkboxes. The values won't save in a custom block.
Sounds like that block is not
Correct.
correct. I would, if you are actually, one thing to try, if you've got checkboxes in a block and they're mapping to a database table for that block that's either set to be 1 or 0, like we often do in our custom blocks, you want to make sure that you actually create a save method in your block, and if the checkbox is unchecked, you send 0 to the save method, the parent save method. Otherwise, you send 1. You can check this out in the auto nav block or the page list block to see how we do this, because sometimes the blocks don't like it if you send null. So that is something to check out, and otherwise, I would double check that all your columns are named correctly and that your form names for the checkbox in the HTML match your database table exactly. Otherwise, should be.
All right.
Got a question from Ale. I believe that's the name. Is e-commerce ready for 5.6? And I haven't seen a whole lot of bugs come in about that yet, but it's just I know 5.6 just came out, so
Yeah, it's we haven't done extensive testing. I would, if you're running a production site, I would definitely hold off on upgrading it to 5.6. It's possible that there might be some visual inconsistency since we did switch to Bootstrap 2. Nothing major that would break anything, but perhaps some forms that are oddly aligned. But nothing should be hugely changed.
No, it
in
should
that-
work.
in that.
Yeah, I mean, I would urge you to back up and perhaps make a stage and upgrade that and see if you like it
Yeah.
before you do it to your live site if you've got a lot of traffic. But should work.
all right. Question from IRC. This is from Corbin. I guess it comes originally from Idea Sponge, and the question is there a way to programmatically install or manage workflow in 5.6?
Well, it's already installed in 5.6. Workflow is something you can attach to specific permissions. So you could think of permissions as kind of dictating who can request something to happen, and the optional workflow that can be attached is kind of what happens when that request is made. That already exists in the core of 5.6, so there's no need to install anything. There is an enterprise workflow solution that we will be selling on a separate website, and that gives you multi-step approval. Once that thing is started, if you want various departments to do different things, that would be something that you would need to install. But
and you know, I mean, workflow is pretty fleshed out in terms of the API, so I would probably answer that question yes. We just haven't had the opportunity to write up exactly how we might use how someone might extend that for their own stuff.
I would answer, well, what are you trying to do? Because sure, but what? What are you trying to achieve? And then we might be able to tell you how
that
we
you don't even have to.
It's already done.
Yes.
Or how we might go about achieving that ourselves.
Yes.
With some more detail to the question. We would elaborate. If you would elaborate, sir, first.
This might be difficult for us to relay since this person is not in the chat room that we're actually in.
Right.
They are in a separate
chat
wall
room. Inexplicably
different
chat room.
watching the show.
Watching
not
the show.
communicating.
In a different chat room, communicating through a developer
who should be working.
Who should be working, that I'm paying to sit in the chat room. So, wow.
He says possibly trying to sell setups in the marketplace.
I don't understand what that means.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Well then, anything else?
We should have some how-tos on permissions and things like that coming in the coming weeks.
Yes, we should. There was a lunchtime learning session.
Yes.
I think we posted to the interwebs.
And so that's not as code-based, but if you want to see some of the
Starting
capabilities, it would be a fantastic way to get started.
Good thing to watch.
And then it covers workflow as well as advanced permissions.
It does
Just
touch on
start. It's about an hour long.
Matt's about to fire it up right now, I think.
That's right.
Let's just put that bad boy in there and hit play.
How would we do that? We did it already. Check it out.
So yeah, there's a lot of detail there, and
There's
yeah, there you go.
some jokes.
Some
laughs.
There's some laughs. There's some eating. I think.
There's probably some gross eating sounds.
It's more relaxed as the hour goes on. How else would we do stuff? We want to show that weird opposite scrolling thing that Robert was on about.
Yeah, let me find this tab here. 1 second. A lot of tabs.
In-house designer was showing off sites that impressed him the other day, and this one came up. Fired up. Robert's really into scrolling in weird ways, and this one does that for sure. So as you scroll down, they kind of take like the two different sides scroll in opposite directions.
What happens if you click on the numbers?
Always making a. Which that just takes you to the page. Always making a. They always line up. So you scroll down more, you can see, okay, well that lines up, and then so the left is always going down, the right's always going up. You almost might think of this as like a huge rubber band, and as one side goes down, the other comes up. So they always kind of line up in the same way.
What if you what if you make your browser window taller? What's it do?
That's gonna make it look bad in Ustream, pretty much.
I'm just curious.
There you go.
That's cool.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, no, it's impressive.
Yeah. So they just play with the negatives, but it's very responsive.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
I'm impressed by that, to be honest.
It's kind of confusing, but it's impressive nonetheless. Love this site for its sheer chutzpah.
Only has
If we had to build it, or if rather, I mean, building it is just its own beast, but if we had to provide it in a CMS that someone could actually edit, I mean, I think the first thing I would be concerned at as a account manager is there's no way the site is ever going to grow in a healthy fashion.
Yeah,
I mean, this thing is a
clearly
piece of
is.
art, and you're going to make it the way you're going to make it, and it is what it is. And, maybe you can make some text editable, but you're sure not going to install the events add-on.
Yeah.
And, you know, enjoy
Just
what
put
happens.
that calendar in one of those scrolling.
So I think that'd be my
Yes.
first tidbit of how I would do that. Is I'd be very clear with the client.
Manage
of,
expectations.
Yeah, what is it you're going to get out of a CMS and what is it that you're not? But I still think there's value in making that somewhat editable because, you know, you're in a typo on the homepage or you just want to change some text.
Got
or
a
whatever.
new event you're promoting.
Yeah,
or
there's
something.
some bits in there that you might choose to make editable. I would actually push for changing the edit experience from the view experience pretty dramatically.
Yeah.
And we do this a fair amount when we're working on more complicated stuff. I think there's a tendency to see the in-context editing of concrete5 and see how much clients enjoy that and how intuitive it is for them, and then take it kind of to a literal extreme of just, well, when I'm in edit mode, everything must be exact, and you know, you can sense new developers to concrete5 can almost get frustrated that there's a little red dotted line around things, and well, that pushes things off a pixel.
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, people need to put the page in edit mode when they see a typo. They want to fix the typo. Then it's a real drag to go hunt for it in a dashboard full of pages. But once you're editing a page, you need that editing experience to be graceful more than you need it to be literally matching the front end. So I might, when I put this page in edit mode, I might reload it to not do this weird scrolling at all, but just have both sides of the page lined up next to each other.
Yeah.
So as I scroll down as a site editor, it's kind of same. And you know, these all have little block areas on them when needed.
You know what you could even do? You could actually change it even more wholesale in edit mode versus view mode. You could make it so that these are actual pages underneath the home page in your site, and so then if you mouse over the nav at the top, and Matt, you can, those are actual pages, and they could even get a custom attribute that changes the color, the primary color, that you can see the nav. And then when you're not, and then to edit these things, you go to them in the dashboard, and they are just the one sort of pane that you're seeing when you actually click on this
News
here.
Events is its own page.
Yeah, and it would have its press releases underneath it the same way that it has there.
Yeah.
And then on the home page, you do a pretty aggressive. The home page just takes each page that's directly underneath it and does its magic the way it does today. And so you're never actually navigating to these pages when you're hitting the nav here. You're, you know, you load up all the data for each page on that home page when you visit it, and then.
So how would you do that on the home page? Does it become a single page, or is that just something you do as a page type for the
Yeah, the home page would be a page type of home.
Okay.
Only really because you can't today have home as a single page.
It has to be.
But in reality, that's what you would ideally do.
But you nevertheless, you could make a page type of home that you only use on the home, and then in that template you could do all the logic.
Yeah, it would be
Find the child objects.
It would be primarily code that would find all these objects, and then a bunch of very clever JavaScript that would stitch them together.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to do it.
Yeah, I like that one.
That is how we would do it.
Cool site.
Nice. Okay. Anybody ask any other questions that we can answer while we were jabbering about how we would do it?
Yeah, I think there might be one or two more.
All right, let's do it.
Got one from Chad Strat. He asks, can that translation resource be applicable to packages? I think maybe he means the Transifex site.
I think so.
Yeah, that's what it means. I mean, you'd have to.
It could be. You definitely can. You could put more project. A lot of open source projects put their modules in there as well as the core. It could. I doubt that we'll use it for that, but we might.
Yeah, you would have to put stuff in there and manage it for your add-on, methinks.
Yeah.
I'm dubious providing translations for add-ons because I feel like there's an implied sense that then support would happen. And I don't know if you've ever tried to provide support to someone in a different language, but it ain't that easy. So it feels kind of like a can of worms.
Mm-hmm.
But and then we, you know, not necessarily something we're going to be like, yeah, this will be easy for everybody. So technically, perhaps, I mean, certainly, since that's all we're doing with it, sticking our files in there.
It's tough though. I mean,
it's not in our strategy.
Just to play devil's advocate, they do have that whole idea of the shared translation memories between projects. Like you could start up an e-commerce translation in there and then pull the strings
submit
from already from concrete5. But I mean, there's a not insignificant amount of managerial work that would go into that. So it's not really on the radar yet. But again, if you're totally free to put your own translations in there for your own add-ons and link to them from your marketplace page, and then pull them back in and distribute them with the package themselves. Which we get translations from third parties, which we do include in things like the discussion forums and e-commerce. So you can always use your own translation resources and then submit them to us.
So perhaps, and you never know, one day we might do something more about it.
Yeah.
But right now it seems to be more risk than reward to me.
We do have a thread on our site now going in like I think customizing C5 that is in German primarily, and it's just to bring it back to your concern about providing support in other languages.
Yeah.
I think it has turned into English at this point, but it was going pretty strong in German.
Awesome.
And dust off my college German. It's not happening. It's not happening.
What else?
I got a question from Ale again. They ask, this is about the Google Map block, and it looks like they're doing a custom template for it. I guess if you need custom JavaScript, like a marker on your map, you'll need to override the controller these days. And I guess previously, you could do all that in a custom template and not worry about the controller. You guys have any thoughts on what might have changed?
Yeah, no, well, I mean, I know what changed. We added the JavaScript into the controller from a pull request. It seemed perfectly reasonable, and I don't think that's even the wrong way to do it. Now, can you not add JavaScript on top of what was already there? Or is it a case where the JavaScript included by the controller is just terrible, and you cannot bolt on to that JavaScript with custom JavaScript that your template might include?
Can you extend the JavaScript,
Yes.
or must you replace it?
Yes.
Yes, we know it's because of moving to the controller. That's what you just said.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's why that went in there. And it was primarily to, I forget why.
Yes. No. Yes. Maybe.
So do that. Add your custom JavaScript make your custom template a directory that has view.php inside it, and then add view.js in your custom template, which is your custom Google Maps JavaScript, and see if it can coexist peacefully with the JavaScript that's being included in the template.
Overriding the story.
Yeah.
All right, a question from Corrupto. They asked, can we use custom icons in the dashboard instead of Bootstrap icons?
Not today. Not today.
Now, I know there was a pretty cool how-to I posted on Facebook on the concrete5 page there. Just to hype it up a little bit, but it's from John the Fish, who's actually dug into 5.6 a little bit already and talked
nice.
about how to use those
Or
Bootstrap.
yes.
No, this is custom.
Oh, using
these
the
are
Bootstrap
yeah,
icon.
how to add your own Bootstrap icon.
Yeah, not the same as using something
Not
other
what
than
you want to
Bootstrap.
do. I check out the Bootstrap icons. I mean, there's like a gajillion.
Yeah,
in there.
and they're adding more as well, which we will
They're so
eventually
fast and happy,
which we will eventually
consistent,
as well.
and whatnot. So yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of cool. Check it out.
Yeah, so if you want to support that in your third-party packages, check out that how-to. It's nice.
Facebook/concrete5. Not sure that works. Boom! There it is.
Yeah, we got a Facebook page. It's in the chat. Check it out.
Hear about this Facebook thing? It's taking off.
Social networking, I'm dubious.
I don't know.
Who'd want to do that?
Another question from Corrupto. Once we figure out how and if there is need, can we sell workflow types in the marketplace?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the way it's built is kind of in a similar way to shipping types in e-commerce or attribute types. So I don't know if we will tremendously document how you might extend it, but the basic workflow type that's included in the core is probably pretty easy for a developer to check out. So yeah.
that covers the questions I'm seeing so far. Just
Sweet.
chat about the map lock going on. That's great to see.
Great. Well, if there's nothing else, gang, we're gonna get back to work. Let's do it. As always, it's been a pleasure, and I think we'll be back next week. I'm not sure what our plans are. But
Yeah.
we'll let you know by the middle of the week, but I imagine so. Labor Day on Monday.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Enjoy the last barbecue of the summer, everybody. See you soon.
Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time.